Hey guys, this is Robert with the Recreational Woodworker. Today, I'm going to do more of a DIY home improvement project on this house that I'm currently remodeling. This is kind of the same house that I've done the kitchen in, and so I have a full set of how to make your kitchen cabinets. I'm also going to be posting a video on how to install a door, which is not going to be this video because of how this door is working, but I want to show you what I'm dealing with here. In this old house, the AC is behind this door. Well, an AC has to breathe, right? So the previous owners put that vent there to kind of make do. What I'm going to do is essentially the same thing, but do it better with this replacement door right here. This is just a hollow core interior door, and I'm going to cut out that bottom section and put a grate here, and this is going to be a mess, but I'll show you how to work with. So that the AC can settle in the air here, it can go through the filter and do its thing. Let me show you kind of what they did and what is the problem. So this is the other hollow core door. This thing is nasty. It's been here forever. So now, see how it's hollow right there, and this guy just got screwed on? What we're gonna do is kind of the same thing, but I'm gonna reinforce all of that and trim it out where it actually looks nice and it doesn't when you close it. So let's head out to the shop and we'll get started on this.
So why is a woodworking channel doing all these carpentry projects all of a sudden? Well, the simple thing is I have carpentry type projects to do, and carpentry and woodworking really lend themselves well together. So as you do these kind of skills, it teaches problem solving, helps you fix up your house, helps you build furniture. Same basic things, just a little bit different here and there. And a lot of the tools work together too. So here's what I'm doing. I need to put this vent, this is just I think this is a 20 by 20 vent I got from the box store, and I need to put it into this door. You can see it's got the flange, it's about an inch all the way around, and it can hold a filter, but I'm not really using it to hold a filter, I'm just using it to give me a pass through the door, and it's nice and white. I'll put it in, take it back out when I paint the door, and I'm not sure what I'm going to find because this is a hollow core door, so I'm probably going to have to add some reinforcement to this. So here's what I'm doing. You can see it has this flange around it. That's going to sit on the door, so that makes it nice and easy, and that will give me a place to hide any nail holes that I need to make to add reinforcement to the frame. So what I'm going to do is basically get this guy centered, and it just almost perfectly fits into the center of the door right there. Get it centered with this bottom line, so the bottom of the trim is going to be my line, and then essentially there we go. So basically my line are these outside lines right here, and I'm going to mark this with my track saw square, and I'm just going to lay out my lines so they're nice and easy to see. And yeah, I've got paint all over my track saw right now. So square that up. Just going to come down here to the bottom and come square right there. And I mean, I know that's my line, so that's no big deal. And I think I can just set my saw to plunge and make sure I stop right there and I stop right there, and then go down, do the same thing. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me get set up to do that, and we'll be right back. The first thing I'm going to do is set up my track saw to do a plunge cut. To do that, we take our track, we're just going to set it on the edge right here, overhang it slightly. I'll take my saw and just go ahead and plunge it down to where my teeth are coming through the bottom right there, and then tighten that up. So plunge is set where it comes all the way through. So I'm set right there. So we've got our pencil line there. We have our saw set up for the right depth. I've got my sacrificial boards under, so I'm not gonna cut into my workbench. So now we can just make our cut. I'm gonna line up right here. And on this saw, there's two little index marks that do the stop and start of your plunge. Because I'm not going full depth, it's not gonna go fully to that line, but it's a good reference so I don't cut too far, and then I can clean it up with the jigsaw. Alright, that's one. So now I'm going to move my blade over here and cut on the bottom section. Alright, I believe now I'm just going to clean this up with a jigsaw. Now, if you don't have a track saw, you could easily do this entire process with a jigsaw. So this is what's inside a hollow core door. It's essentially two pieces of hardboard and some cardboard that's kind of zigzagged in between to give it strength. That's all there is to it. Okay, so I've widened this with just the saw blade all the way around, and it fits nice and pretty snug, not any real wobble or anything like that. Looks like I might need to fine tune just a few things here and there to make sure it sits flush. But now I'm ready to cut my support boards and insert them in there. So we need to figure that out. Alright. So to do that, I'm just going to take my tape measure, set it right there. It looks like that is about 1 1/16". Seems like I'm pushing it down a little bit, so about 1 1/16". 1 1/16". I think I've got some scrap around here that's about 1 inch. We'll try that. Okay, very simple operation. I just took some 3/4 inch material, ripped it down on the table saw, test fit it, fits in there. A little bit looser than I want, but it seems like it'll clamp nicely, so I think we're good. And I'm just going to glue it, and then I'm going to staple it with some 1-inch staples. Those are the shortest I have right now. And I'm going to make sure I turn down the depth on my gun. It's okay if these come out a little bit proud. It's going to get covered by that flange anyway. So let's glue it. We're going to glue on both sides because I'm going to flip it over and shoot it on the back side. There we go. Now I'm going to do this on all 4 sides. Don't have any real critical measurements. It's just like, see, this is about 2 inches shorter than the opening, and it fits. This was just a piece of scrap I got, so not super complicated. So I have that right there. I am going to make sure it stays flush, and then I'm just going to pop an 18 gauge staple in there. There we go. And it's sticking out proud because I didn't want to pierce through my the hardboard, but I can make it a little bit deeper there. So get that flush, make sure your hands stay out of the way. There we go. And I think 3 will be enough for now. I'm going to clean that up, do that on all 4 sides, flip it over, and then tack that in place, and then we'll be ready to mount this. We have everything installed and we're ready to install this. We want to make sure that on my particular door, this is going to be the show side, the other is going to be in a closet and never seen. So I want to make sure my vents are there and they're oriented the right way, which is just down. Just going to pop that in there. There we go. That's in. That's nice. So now I'm going to open this up. Like this. Pull that off, it just snaps in place. And I did drill some extra screw holes because the ones that were here in advance weren't going the right direction. So now I'm just going to screw this in place. Alright, to attach this, I'm just using some 1-inch Craig screws I have. Honestly, drywall screws would work for this. Anything that's got a big enough, well, not drywall, anything that's got a pan head so you can get it in there. Uh-oh. And here I am, unable to drive a screw. There we go. And there's places for 8 total screws, but 4 I think will be plenty. And last one. So there you have it. I'll do a video on how to install a door at a different day and time. But this is how you put this in. I'm gonna go get this guy painted now. I'll pull this out when I paint it, and then I'll put it back in. Inside I might caulk around it to make it look as nice as possible. Though I might not. I'm not sure about that call. But time to get this guy painted and installed, and that'll be our next picture right there.